Welcome to Parenting911, the lived experience podcast where real parents share real stories.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Parenting911 Lived Experienced podcast. I am Frizzell Malin, CEO of Parenting911, and I'm your host. I'm glad to see you back. Now, we mentioned on our last session talking about identity. We mentioned the fact that we have to make sure we are speaking into our children good things that we want to happen, telling them, encouraging them, and lifting them up to do good things, amazing things. But we have to make sure we're continuously speaking that into their lives. So today we are going to talk about they do grow up. We have to realize that our children are not always little children. They do grow up. And as they grow, we have to pivot as they develop and change and blossom. We have to make adjustments as well. Many times, that in itself is the issue. We don't like change. We don't like to change. And many times we don't change, which creates chaos. It creates this power struggle that's not even necessary. So we're going to talk about some of that today. If you are a parent, a grandparent, a foster parent, a step parent, if you are helping to train up children in the way they need to go, then this is the podcast for you. All right. So from the time a child is born until their 18th birthday, you have 936 weeks to pour all the goodness that you have in you, all the knowledge you have in you, all the training you have in you into them. Just 936 weeks to prepare them for adulthood. Just 936 weeks to provide all the life skill training they are going to need to be able to maintain in life as an adult, to be able to be good people, have good character, to be able to work hard and make their own money to live by, to be able to raise up their own family. You have 936 weeks. Trust me, the days are long, but the years are very short. They go by so quickly. Before you know it, that beautiful little newborn is now 12. And then you blink and they're 18. So it does not take very long with the years. They go by quickly. And we're just going to talk about when that time comes. When they are considered adults. Oh my word. Usually what happens in our minds, we think that parenting ends when they become 18. I mean, that's just what some of us think. One of my dear friends said when her children were still in high school, she said, "Oh, I'll be so glad when they graduate, when they turn 18, because my work will be over." And I just started laughing. You know, that good old belly laugh. It was hilarious. I mean, really. And she said, "What are you laughing for? Why are you laughing at me like that?" I said, "Little do you know that parenting does not end at age 18. It just takes on a whole new look. You have to make some adjustments again. You are still the parent, but they are now the adult. Actually, you get a chance to see if you've parented well. If you've helped build an identity of good character in them, you get to see the fruit of your labor, so to speak, when your children become adults. Now, understand, yes, they're still your children, but they are now adults, and you have to respect them as adults, treat them as adults, talk to them as adults. You can no longer, do all the little things you did when they were 5, because they're not 5. They have developed into adults. It's very sad that oftentimes we'll treat other adult children with great respect. Great respect. But we won't treat our children, our own children, the ones we raised and trained up. We won't treat them as adults. It shows up in everything. It shows up in the words we use, in our expression, in our tone and tenor. Shows up in everything. We have to learn to respect our adult children as adults. As adults. So we're going to talk about some of that. One of the things we have to understand is self-forgiveness, because once they become adults, we realize that we didn't do everything just right as parents. We made some mistakes. I don't really care who your parents are, or whose parents you are. We have all made mistakes as parents. And many times we don't see the mistakes until our children become adults. Then we see, oh, I wish I had done that differently. I wish I had handled that situation better. I wish I had used a different tone or different words and not been this way or that way in that situation. We then see some of our mistakes. We first have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves. Then we have to ask them for forgiveness. Now, that's a difficult thing for some of us. Some of us have never ever said to our children, I apologize. My bad. I didn't mean it. That's on me. That's on me. Some of us have never said that to our children, even when we realized we were wrong. We still didn't say it. Something about, we need to look like we're right, saving face or whatever. Come on now, really? We're adults now. So we need to make sure we forgive ourselves and then ask for forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness. If you listen to your adult children, just in general conversation, you'll hear some of the things that you did that were hurtful. You'll hear some of the things that broke their spirits. You'll hear from them some of the things that you did or said or didn't do that really broke them. And trust me, it's okay to say, I apologize. That's a great place to start with adult children. Great place for us to start. All relationships, remember, are under management, under construction. Hopefully, as our children have become adults, our relationships are now under new management, and we are respecting them just like we want them to respect us. Yeah, that hit a certain way, right? We've got to learn to respect them just as we want them to respect us. So if we need to make some changes, change. Change. Don't allow stubbornness to stop you from changing so that you can have a good relationship with your adult child. Now, understand this, they are adults, yes. They still need you. They still need your love. They still need your support. They still need for you to listen to them. They still need for you to hug them now and then. Say, I love you now and then. You are their parent. So make the adjustments that you need to make so that your relationships can still be strong. Also, understand that there have to be adult boundaries. Some of us don't have boundaries because we were never taught that we needed to have boundaries. That's why we raised our children in chaos in our homes. The structure was broken, the structure just eroded, if we had any structure at all, because we did not understand boundaries. However, as a parent of an adult child, you need to have boundaries and they need to have boundaries. You need to have a line drawn in the sand. There have to be some things that they're not allowed to do at your house just because they're grown. If you had rules when they were being trained up under your roof, you should still have rules. If we don't have boundaries, then our adult children will feel entitled to anything we have. They will feel entitled not to keep a job because they know, well, my mama, my daddy, my grandparents, they're gonna pay for my rent. They're gonna pay my rent. They're gonna pay my car note and my insurance. You must have boundaries. It's still wise, in my opinion, not to co-sign for large, expensive items, the house, the car. Because if there are no boundaries and your children, adult children, feel entitled, they're not going to worry about paying that off because they know you will get it. We have to help our children learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. So there have to be boundaries for you, for your house, and for them. Don't go over their house and try to take over. Not your house. Not your house. Respect them as adults. You don't need to micromanage them as adults. You've already had your opportunity to do all of that when you were training them up under your roof. If you trained them well on the front end, that's what they are going to fall back on that back end. So you don't need to micromanage them now. Let me tell you what, even when they are teenagers, you don't need to micromanage them then. Soon they'll be going out in the world on their own. You won't be there with them 24/7. You won't be there holding their hands. You are to prepare them to be able to go out into the world and be able to maintain, sustain, be all right. Know what to do, know how to manage their money, know how to work, know how to pay bills, know how to live within their means, know how to treat other people decently. You're to be training them for all of that. So when their time comes to be grown and out in this world, they'll know what to do. You can't know all of their business. They're adults. Are you going to know some of it? If you have a relationship with them, yes. If you learn how to listen more than you talk, yes. Because they want to talk with you. But let me say this. Please don't treat their situations and their problems and things that they're living through as unimportant. We'll do that because we've already been there. We've done that, got the t-shirt, all of that. Empathize with them. So when they come to you and say, "Oh man, I did not know that how much all these bills were going to be." Empathize with them. Say, "Oh my, yeah, I understand. I understand. Wow." Don't say, "Girl, shut up. I've been through that. Already done it." No. No. That causes them not to want to talk to you. That breaks the communication line. And if there is no communication, guess what? There is no relationship. If you all can't communicate, there's no relationship. So you've got to remember to empathize with them. Yes, we've already lived that experience. Absolutely. But now they're living it. And all they need is a little support. All they need is a little moral support. Let me put it that way. All they need is for you to listen to them and empathize with them. Don't treat it like it's nothing. Don't do that to them. You wouldn't want anybody to do it to you. Now, as they grow up, understand that they have every right to make decisions that are sometimes not the best ones. We made some that were not the best. You can't make them make a better decision. You can ask them if they want your opinion. And if they do, just share it and then move on. Don't give them a lecture. Don't call them degrading names. Just tell them what your opinion is and move on. The final decision belongs to them and not to you. Don't nag them. Don't lecture them. Don't speak for them. Don't answer for them. They are now of age. That's how the Bible puts it. They are now of age. They can speak for themselves. Don't try to manipulate them. No, don't try to bribe them into doing what you want them to do. No, don't do that to them because that breaks trust. And if they can't trust anybody else in this world, an adult child, your adult child, should still be able to trust you because you're still their parent and you're still parenting from your heart. You still care about their success. You still want them to be the best. Don't abuse the privilege of being a parent. Sometimes we do. A couple talked with me. They were dating one another, and I was at an event. I had my table set up, everything. And so the gentleman came over to the table first. He just wanted to know, what did I do? And, tell him a little bit more about Parenting 911. And I did. When I got to the part, though, about I also work with parents of adult children, he just stopped. He froze. He said, how I wish my parents would work with somebody, because we don't have a good relationship. And no matter how I try to hold our relationship together, it's as if they don't even care anymore. They don't care if they don't talk to me. They're in a mode where they're ready to live their lives now. And so it's like they don't care about my life anymore now that I'm grown. He says, I wish they would talk to somebody or go through a course of yours or a class to learn that even though we are adults, we still need our parents just for moral support. You could see the emotions building up with him. It was very, very touching to know how he felt and to see the hurt that his parents were causing simply because they didn't want to change and didn't want to respect him as an adult. People, our children still need us, even after they become adults. How I wish my parents were still alive and I could just sit down and talk to them and laugh about stuff with them. How I wish. So those of us with adult children understand they still need us. They still need our love. They even need our guidance, but we have to be very careful about how we give our guidance. Wait until they ask for it. And always know when to pull back. Always know when you're doing too much. Always know when you're getting a little too deep in all of their business. If you learn when to pull back, they'll share their business with you. But if you're trying to put your nose in it, no, then they are going to pull back. We're going to keep talking at some point about being the parent of adult children. Guess what? It's on the same premise as when you had your first child. You didn't know how to parent. You were figuring out everything, all the diapers, how many diapers you needed in a week. Oh my gosh, she's going through all of this Similac and Infamil and all. You were figuring that thing out because you had not been a parent before. Guess what? Same thing now. You're figuring out how to be the parent of an adult because you've never been the parent of an adult before. So here is your action step. If you and your adult child don't have a good relationship, you're the parent. Reach out. Reach out. Give them a call or text message. Send them an email. Reach out. Yes, we still have life, but they are a part of our lives. So don't leave them out of your life. Don't act like you don't need them, because we do, just like they need us. So reach out. If you saw some areas as we talked that you need to work on, start working on them. If you need to pull back because you try to stay in all of their business, pull back. If you've been manipulating and bribing, trying to get them to still do what you want them to do, stop. That's an injustice to them. If you're lecturing them all the time, guess what? They've already stopped listening. They're not listening. Stop lecturing. If you really want them to hear you, say very little. Choose few words that go straight to the point. Don't nag them. And learn how to respect them as adults. All right. Today, our sponsor, of course, is Parenting911. You can go to our website, parenting911.org. We provide courses and trainings for parents one-on-one. We do workshops for schools, for churches, organizations, wherever parents are. We feel like that's where we need to be so that we can provide strategies that help empower parents. Our other sponsor is Emotions You Know, where you can play this game and learn how to share your emotions. Some of us have never shared our emotions. You learn how to share them with your children, and they learn how to share their emotions with us. That would be a great game for you and your adult children. Now, don't go in wearing your feelings on your shoulders. No, go in ready to listen and make the changes you need. So you can go to emotionsyouknow.com and find out more about the game. All right, I'm so glad you joined us today. I hope you learned something. This is one of those sticky areas that most people don't like to talk about. Like I said, we're going to talk about the lived experiences of families, whether it's the good, the bad, or the indifferent. We don't mind talking about the difficult subjects. I look forward to seeing all of you on the next episode. Make sure you tell your friends, share it with others, especially those that are in the village helping to train up children in the way they should go. I'll see you next episode.